One thing I'd tell you about accommodation is start looking early. If you know you're going to be in school for September, like let's say maybe now, fine, we're in January, and you're going to go in school in September, please start looking right now, because getting a good place is not that easy, and especially during last minute. So many people are going to be traveling during maybe when the school is going to be open, and the very good places maybe you'll find they've gone. And the thing over there is people live in contracts, a lot of contracts. So make sure you try your best to look for your accommodation as early as possible, because this will help you to plan yourself, to budget yourself, and yeah, just all that. So there's school accommodation and there is outside of school accommodation. If you want school accommodation, all the best, because it is damn expensive. It is like 600 and something pounds per month. Do the math. It's quite expensive. If you would want it, well and good. Would I recommend it? No, I wouldn't. Is it convenient? It is, just the proximity to the school. But you can find cheaper accommodation outside the school. But it all depends with you and your budget. If you want it, it's all good. For me, I did not stay in school accommodation because I just had a different preference, and I decided to stay out of school accommodation. How did I get my accommodation? There was a time I entered the Facebook page for University of Dundee, and there was this school advisor at that time. I think she was called Livia. So I reached out to her, and she sent me some places where I could look into, and there are very many sites. There are places like Gumtree, there's Students, there's Pavilion Properties, there's Grant Properties, 1-bedroom houses or studio apartments or 2-bedroom houses. Most of the times what students do, maybe if you know someone, you would get a house and maybe split the cost. It's far much easier. Let's say maybe you'd budget with like maybe sometimes you pay maybe £275 per month, or like £300. Now, just depending on your budget. Again, have a budget which you're going to stick to, then look at the accommodation which you want to have. So there are area codes in Scotland, in Dundee. So I'm just basing my experience on the place where I stayed in. So the school is in DD1. Yes, it's in Nethergate, DD1. So the houses where you see the address is DD1, which means it's closer to the school. So DD2, so it's DD1, then 2, then 3, then 4, which means the more you go, like 3, 4, 5, they're more further away from the school than 2, 3, 1, like that. But it's not so far. The good thing with the University of Dundee is that Dundee itself is not such a huge area. The city center is so small, and you can walk literally everywhere. So you really don't have to worry. Even if it's like DD3, it's not that far from the school. Trust you me, it's not that far from the school. You can walk in 15 minutes and you're going to be in school from your house, and it's DD3. So you can just ask your landlord to like give you the map, or you can look it up in Google Maps and just see how close or far the place is, then make your own choice. And then another thing which you should be very aware about is the contracts. Well, in the UK, there are so many contracts. Everything is done in contracts, and especially if you're living, even in school accommodation, if you sign the contract of living in school accommodation, you can only leave after 6 months, and you have to like get someone to replace you. So again, it ties you. The contract ties you. Again, if you're living out of school accommodation, there's the Wi-Fi contract. There is the electricity bills contracts, all those kind of things. So be very, very, very careful about the contractual agreements you enter into. read all those terms and conditions, especially the termination clauses, because these are contracts which can really tie you for a long time. If you've chosen a 1-year contract and you want to terminate before that 1-year contract, sometimes they're going to tell you to pay a fee, or you continue paying the amount of money which you would have paid and you still leave, which does not make sense. So bottom line, please read the contractual agreements of all the plans, even your mobile phones. Read all that contractual plans before you make any decision and sign and get yourself into contracts which are very hard to come out from. Take it from me, read those contracts. Oh, so I think I have actually come across what you need for your visa documentations. So you need your cash statement, as I mentioned. You need your certified bank statements. You need bank letters from your bank. You need your parents' consent letters. You need your parents' copy of their ID or their passport. You need your copy of your original birth certificate, copies of your degree transcripts. You need 2 of them, 2 copies. Then you need an original and the copy of your passport. So you need the original and copies of passport of your birth certificate, your degree transcript, and copies of your passport. Then of course you need the tuberculosis certificate, which I said you get from IOM Center in Gigiri. Then for your certificate, the TB certificate, you're going to need your original passport. You're going to pay 13,500 Kenyan shillings through M-Pesa. So make sure you have that money in M-Pesa. And then you need your school address for your university. And then at least you usually told like you be like at 8 a.m. to like 12 p.m. Monday to Friday. Those are like their working hours. And then so when you've done all those, and then now is when, if you're working with UNICEF, then is now when you return to UNICEF, and then you fill the online form for your visa application. Then I think the visa fees was like $520, if I'm not wrong. And then you're going to pay your national insurance, which they will tell you how much it is usually. I really can't remember how much it was, but UNICEF would advise you on how best to go ahead with that. So I hope I have actually mentioned everything, and if you have any more questions, you can always reach out to me. I'll be in a position to answer you and just help you out and make your process a bit easier. Can you work when you're in the UK? How are you going to balance reading and working? So when you've gotten your visa, you're going to be given limits to the hours of work which you can work. The NI number, that's the national insurance number. It's a number, so you register, and then it's a number which you're going to use like for working. So when you're working, it's like your tax number or something like that. So it's just that national insurance number. So you'll be registered, and then once you get that NI number, then you can start working. However, not all jobs require it at the beginning, but later on they're going to ask you, because it's what they'll use to like monitor you and how many hours you're working and how many hours you're eligible to. Some of the jobs you'll get, and they're going to be giving you more than 20 hours, because I know for like a student, you only allowed 20 hours per week when you're in session. Like when you're in school, you only allowed 20 hours of working per week. Don't go past that 20 hours, because the guys for the visa are going to contact you and they'll be like, you're going past the agreement which we decided on, and you can go back to where you came from. Okay, that's extra, but basically that's just it. Just don't violate your visa agreement rules. Don't do it. It's very, very tricky. Don't do it. So once you've gotten your national insurance number, what you can do is apply for jobs. Most of the jobs you're going to get them through Indeed. Indeed is just an app. You can just download it and look for the type of jobs which you want. So one tip which I'd tell you, if you go there with the mentality of, oh, I can't do any part-time jobs or anything like that, my friend, you're going to be broke as hell. You need to open up your mind, do different type of jobs. It's not easy that you're going to get the office jobs, like sitting down, and it's really difficult for you to do that. So some of the jobs which are available to most students, or what I saw, was places like Amazon, places like Harmy's, grocery shops, supermarkets, security jobs, housekeeping jobs, waitressing, bartending, which other ones? Cleaning, just cleaning, even schools or places like that. Sous chef. What else? Home care jobs, home care assistants. Those are basically, working mainly in food processing factories. Those are mainly the jobs which most of my colleagues and many people whom I knew were doing. So it just depends on the preference which you want. And then the good thing is that they offer you training. Like for your first 1 or 2 weeks, they're going to offer you training and you're going to just adapt, But if you go there with the mentality of, oh my gosh, I'm not going to do these jobs, my friend, you will just be spending all your money and not making any savings. So you just have to open up your mind and just think outside the box and learn new things, get to learn other people. It will make you appreciate so many things that you would have taken for granted, and literally appreciate the little things that you have. I think that's one experience which I took away from that. You get to appreciate each and every individual job, no matter what it is. You just appreciate it. Security is a job which I saw many of my colleagues doing, and they really were making really good money with it. You need to offer a training. You need to do a training to get the security license, but you'll still recoup back that investment which you made in doing the security job. So, but of course, if you want to do the security job, one thing which you must have is go and carry your certificate of good conduct, because that's one of the requirements for you to actually get the license and start working. But the other jobs, you just need training. The supervisors are going to train you, and yes, you're going to get a part-time job, which is good, because you can't be reading all the time. You have to work and play, and work, read, enjoy, rest, travel, do all those kind of things, Yes. So another thing now, where to travel to. There are so many places you can travel to. If you want to go to England and visit, well and good. Especially, just hope that maybe by the time you're going, COVID rules have declined. I know during my last semester it was quite difficult because there were so many rules and we couldn't travel. So we just had to, deal with it. But I did most or some of my travels when I was just starting my course, and it was good for me. Culture shock. Wow. Now what would I say about Scotland? Most places are actually really okay. They actually do not discriminate, or even if it's there, it's really under the water. So in Scotland, really, personally, I really don't think I experienced any racism or direct discrimination from anyone, if I could remember. I think maybe it was just one druggie, or he was passing. I did not even listen to what he was saying because it was that time of COVID. I was working so fast, from doing some shopping, and I was going back to the house. I did not want to speak to anyone. It was literally that high peak of COVID, and it was only that time when you only leave the house to go and do essential shopping. So this person called me, and I didn't even realize. So later on is when I've even like passed more, maybe like 20 seconds later, then is now when I hear him like saying cursing and saying something nigger. You know, I just stand and I was like okay, and I just moved on with my life. But and he was like such a freaking junkie, but like whatever. So basically that's it. The culture, the food is not the best. It's really not the best, but there are some Indian shops where you can buy food. At least it's more close to like African food. So there's some Indian shops. There are places like Lidl. Lidl is quite cheaper compared to other shops. There's Tesco, there's Morrison's. Those ones are like more if you want like a higher budget or something like that. But like Lidl is where most students usually shop from. Dundee is relatively cheaper compared to other places in the UK. It's like one of the cheapest places to study. It's literally a student city. It's like students are the ones who just live over there. So it's just a good place to study. It's not crowded. It doesn't have so many people. There's so much space. It's just honestly, it's a good place to study, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody who wants like a peaceful place to study. I remember I went to London and I was like, yo, I can't with this crowdedness. I need to go back. And when I went back to Scotland, I was like, okay, this is quite peaceful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and it has helped you with maybe some of the questions which you people had. And just start your application early, and anyone can, you know, manage to study there. Just believe in yourself, be confident, choose your preferred choice of university, and I definitely wish you the very best in your endeavors. So thank you so much for watching this video. I know it has taken forever, but it just had so much content which I felt was very relevant and very helpful for you all. So make sure you share this video with people whom you think it will be helpful, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.